Like I said, there's still squirrels around us.
Nonetheless, I made it out here for evening hunt. I ended up bringing the new Air Venturi Wood Edition with me. Good shot, boy. Killed your first one. Because I ended up letting him shoot it. He hit it right through the top of the ridge. Check it out and see, but there he is. Right through the neck, right where I was aiming. Alright, y'all, it is currently Sunday, November 23rd. Going on 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still super early. I'm out here on private land tonight. I was going to go to the public, but today is youth deer gun season. It's the last day of it. I've already heard one shot out this way. I saw 3 does coming into my spot back here tonight, but they were just baby does. Wish I would have had a little hunter with me. I ought to let them shoot one of them, but alright, y'all, I'm coming up to where I shot those first ones tonight. They were 48 yards away. Like I said, one should be definitely dead because he folded on impact. There's one. And then the other one fell. But the one that ran down the tree all messed up, I thought I hit either in the neck or the head, is not laying here. I don't know. He's a pretty good sized gray squirrel. Ooh. I hit him pretty low too. Now this squirrel was right here on top of this flat somewhere. Thought maybe right here at this beech tree. It's probably gonna take me a couple minutes to find this one. Dang, they got a hawk. There goes a deer too, a big old deer.
So keep in mind, I had just mentioned seeing a hawk on the ground take off. It's going to be very crucial on what happens next. This was the first time I've ever witnessed this before in my entire life of squirrel hunting. And that's been 17 or 18 years to be confident about how many years I've been squirrel hunting. At least 17 or 18 years. Probably longer than that. But anyway, let me roll y'all into what happens.
All right, y'all. So I found the squirrel. Out of 20, roughly 20 years of hunting, I have never in my life experienced this. So remember how I said when I walked up I saw a hawk take off this bank? There's a squirrel. I got to black and white the footage. He ate all the front legs off and completely took the insides out of the squirrel. Oh, be a son of a gun. His back legs are still good, so I'm going to keep him, of course, but that sucks. I've never in my life experienced that before. That's insane. I mean, he literally ate half the squirrel. The hawk was sitting right there. I just found the squirrel right there. I'm only eating the back legs. I'm not eating anything up there where he was eating, because you never know what kind of disease you might catch from that hawk. But anyway, so I'm guessing maybe that hawk was sitting there watching that squirrel the whole entire time. And after I shot the squirrel, the hawk decided, hey, free meal, and jumped down there. But oh well, he didn't get the back legs. This will conclude my squirrel tacos. I got a handful at home that I'll be laying out tonight. And I'm gonna put these in an ice cream bowl, let them soak overnight, and then tomorrow I'm gonna shred all the meat and all that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I done walked around way more than what I wanted to, which I think there's only 8 or 9 minutes of shooting light left. Legal shooting light, so you can see the sun starting to go over the hill. Anyway, that being said, I'll catch y'all in a couple days. Alright, y'all, today's December 27th. Last time y'all seen me was about 2.5 weeks ago. I haven't hunted at all since. Last time I hunted, it was that snowstorm, which was the last clip that y'all just seen. Tonight I came into the area that all those tracks and stuff was across them logs. I figured tonight would be, or that spot would be the best for tonight. This is the best late season weather I've had ever since, I would say, November the 1st. It's 60 some degrees today, and squirrels are everywhere. I've already seen all kinds of squirrels. I just had one come in the gun range right here while I was setting up the GoPro and stuff. He come running right up this bank right here, seen me or whatever, and turned. But I hear squirrels over here. I hear squirrels back here behind me. When I squirrel hunted a while back in that snowstorm, I never seen a single squirrel. Of course, you know, it was like -3 outside. It was freezing cold. But today the squirrels are very active. I have with me tonight, I know I told y'all I was going to use the red dot rifle and shoot one more, but I decided to just bring my baby tonight. I have the Air Venturi 25 caliber. There's a squirrel right down there. I gotta hurry up. I got the Air Venturi 25 caliber. I'm shooting 25.39 grain JTS ammo. 30 yards is what I'm sighted in for. 50 yards is my first mil dot. The gun is set on Pro Tune right now. With that being said, y'all stay tuned. If you made it this far in the video, hit that thumbs up button. If y'all haven't already, subscribe. I got a few more episodes, maybe one more. The next episode, that episode should be me chasing squirrels with a bow. I promised y'all that during early season, and I am a man of my word, so I will be bringing a video. I'm not going to guarantee I get anything, but the last 2 weeks of season, we're going to be chasing squirrels with archery. Alright, y'all, I was so close to shooting him. I had him at like 31 yards away. Right in the crosshairs, waiting on him to jump one more time so he'd be in the camera view. I had him dead to rights where I'm sitting. But I was waiting on him to just make the one leap out from behind a tree, and a damn squirrel on the hill started chattering. And scared him. He ran back in through the thicket, disappeared. But I seen him originally over in that bush, and I started rubbing the 2 quarters together. And here he came. Got the camera on, I rubbed the quarters, and as y'all seen, he was coming all the way. He would have took that last step, that's all I needed. At least for the camera. Like I said, I could have shot the squirrel, but I was waiting on the camera view or whatever, and nonetheless, yeah, that squirrel scared him, so. Still early, I've only been sitting here for literally 5 minutes and seen that one. There's three or four up on this ridge. Haven't seen the ones in the valley anymore. Alright, y'all, finally we had a squirrel work its way in the range. First shot, I think I hit a limb. I had about a hole like this big to shoot through, and I'm guessing I shot right through a limb. But followed up with a perfect headshot. At about 29 yards, he ran up on a wide open branch and sat there. I got him. I think he was in the camera. I think when I last glanced at it, he was in the viewfinder. But first one down of the night. It's crazy how many squirrels was around me throughout the night. Now it's starting to get towards the later part of the evening. It's almost 4. Sunset's at 5:12, so I can hunt until 5:12. But nonetheless, I ain't heard as many as I was earlier. But this ridge across from me is littered with squirrels. There were squirrels everywhere. So tomorrow evening, I'm going to bump myself up on top of there and get set up on this big old treetop, because there's a bunch of squirrels hanging around it. I think 4 or 5 was right here across this treetop that I'm set up on now, and I just smoked that one off the side of the tree. It's not a very big squirrel. I honestly almost put my rifle back on safety, but I thought, you know what, we're at the end of the year, and I don't have any squirrels in the freezer, so I might as well take the opportunities that I'm given. Alright, y'all, as you can see, we ended up with this one right here, big female tonight. Seen like 20 plus squirrels. I mean, I seen a ton of them, but I only had 3 come into range. That one I was just getting ready to shoot. Squirrels barked on the side of the hill. It jumped and took off. And then about I'd say 45 minutes ago, this one come up this bottom right here next to me and went all the way up that tree. And y'all seen, I got him on a second shot. But I still got like 15 minutes left, but I'm just going to sneak on out of here. The majority of the squirrels was across on that other ridge, so tomorrow evening I'm going to come back in here. We're going to have really good weather, actually a little bit warmer than what it was today. And I'm going to get set up right over there by that big treetop where I was watching all them squirrels this evening. And should be in for a really good hunt. So with that being said, I'll catch you all for tomorrow. And hopefully we can at least get 2 or 3 tomorrow. Currently set up right in front of that big brush pile that all them squirrels was hanging around last night. As you can see, I got this big old acorn tree that I'm backed up against. Kind of break up my silhouette because it's very open in front of me. But I know once I get backed up against this tree and hunkered in, you know, nothing's really going to pick me out until I'm moving the camera and trying to shoot. Today is the warmest it's going to be for the rest of the squirrel season, it's safe to say. Today is 70 degrees. It ended up getting 71 degrees today. Super warm. All I just have this hoodie and a couple shirts on underneath it, and that's all I'm going to rock all the way throughout the evening. It's only going to get a low of 58 tonight, but unfortunately it's going to rain the next 2 days, so I'm not going to be able to hunt. So yesterday when I shot that squirrel with this rifle, the one I ended up killing, I got to look and I hit that thing through the throat. And I got thinking to myself, you know, the crosshairs was dead on his ears, and I remember missing him the first time, but the second time crosshairs was dead on his ears, and I thought to myself, maybe I didn't hit a limb, maybe I did shoot low on that squirrel the very first shot. Sure enough, I shot the rifle today, and apparently a week or so ago when I was in my safe messing around with rifles and I took a couple out and cleaned them, apparently I knocked this one over, which I did. I mean, I do remember hitting it pretty hard, but I didn't give it much thought because I've dropped this gun before and literally picked it up and shot whatever with it, no problem. But this time it did it in because the gun was shooting like 2.5 inch, or about an inch low, half inch, inch low, not 2 inches or nothing crazy, but it was like an inch low. Anyway, long story short, I dialed it back in. I was sitting there shooting wee little half-inch puff balls in my yard over and over again, so we're dialed back in now, but it was shooting a little bit low. I have been sitting here for a little over 4 hours, and I've literally only seen 2 squirrels the whole evening, and I'm set up right. As you can see, I kind of moved. I got a different tree. I've moved up a little bit closer to this big fallen down log that they were all at yesterday. And like I told you all, I said I'm going to end up setting up here and not seeing nothing. Out of all them squirrels yesterday, I'll sit right here on the best day possible, not see nothing. And that almost came true. But I ended up seeing those 2. And then as I'm sitting here, I looked up on the ridge to my left and I seen that one come running across the bank right here. And I was like, oh, here he is. And he stopped up there right around 40 yards. And this gun is about a mil dot high at 50. So the very first shot, I ended up holding my mil dot right square in the center of his head, shot and missed him. So I must have shot right over top of him, and he ran up the tree and got right in the wide open. And the second shot, I thought, you know what, heck with it. Perfect body shot, so I went ahead and held right dead behind his shoulder. Squeezed the trigger and smacked him. He fell down after holding on for a second, and I seen him kicking around right there. He should be down. I guess it is a decent sized squirrel. I thought it was way smaller than this one, but no, it's about the same size as the one yesterday. Pretty big gray. I hit him right dead behind the shoulder, right where I was aiming. Right through the bottom of his lungs, and he was laying right where I last seen him fall. Just snuck down on one of these big bottoms. I hunted this the second or third week of squirrel season. This is where I shot the 3 squirrels off the log over here on my left. There were some young squirrels in here during early season. And then I think it's the Pump Master or Crossman Legacy 1000 video, I shot a squirrel like 10 yards to my right. And the pellet literally tapped the squirrel. I could have threw it and hit the squirrel harder than what it actually hit the squirrel. But anyway, we're bait back in the same exact spot. We're down to the wire. We literally have, I'm going to hunt with this rifle probably another 2 weeks, and then I'm going to pick up my bow for the last little bit of the season. But we don't have much longer, 20 some days left of the season. So I'm just trying to get as many squirrels as I can. Now, squirrels have been actively breeding and whatnot. My buddy sent me a picture or videos of when he was deer hunting. He had crap tons of them in front of him chasing, females and stuff. So the squirrels are definitely in their rut right now. But I kind of come right here at this little spot because there was a whole bunch of them here during the early season, and I haven't been back since. So I figured tonight would be a good night to slip down in here. It's honestly really calm. It's about 50 degrees today. Warm weather's pretty much done. I won't see warm weather until March at this point. So I figured today's just warm enough to get out here. I did see 2 squirrels when I was coming off the top of the ridge. I didn't have the camera together. Per usual, we're using the Air Venturi Avenger 25 caliber. It's going into 2026 with me, and I'm still dialed in for 30 yards. I didn't take it and shoot it any farther or nothing like that the other day. If I can kill one more this episode, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up and then kickstart the final episode, which will be a little bit of probably air rifle hunting in the very beginning and then switching directly into bow hunting. But could just be strictly bow hunting depending on how long it takes me to kill one more. If this spot doesn't pan out, then I'm going to go right back on that ridge tomorrow night and get set up where I seen all of them ones earlier in the video. So with that being said, I'm going to get you all set up in front of me and get the third angle out and wait and see what happens. Y'all stay tuned.
Hell of a long way. Should be my first meal dog. If I can even. There he is. Naughty. That was a lower shot. The squirrel was 60 some yards away. I'm gonna double check it. I raised it last time I was in here hunting. I think it was 66 or something from here to the tree behind it. "64 yards away." So that other tree was way farther than what I thought. That squirrel was 64. That was past what I should have shot. But my my mill dot is dead on at 50, so I just held my first mill dot dead in the center of his chest and shot. And crushed him. He went down right there somewhere.
Alright, as you can see, we got 2 females right here, big females too. That third squirrel I seen ended up was probably a male squirrel. But nonetheless, so far a really good hunt tonight. The last squirrel I'll probably just go ahead and film, but first 2 of 2026, and I shot them about 5 minutes apart. One was at right around 40, the other one at 64 yards the longest. Okay, I lied, it's a new year, so I guess it's the same season. So that one there was the longest shot so far this season, and will probably be the longest. I definitely ain't stretching it out to no 70 yards, but I hit that thing perfectly through his chest, and it came out down here in the hind corner on this side and went off through that holler somewhere, the pellet did. But I was actually shocked that it went clear through his body cavity at 64 yards. The rifle was set on Pro Tune, as I was telling everyone. I think it was in this video or maybe the last video. The rifle is on Pro Tune when I got it from the Airgun Depot, and that's what I wanted it on. I didn't want it on high power tune. High power tunes for like coyotes and stuff like that. I just wanted something to shoot squirrels with and be able to get like 3 magazines, which is 8 per shot in a mag. So you got 8, 16, like 36 shots somewhere in there. I'm gonna say I get roughly 40 from a full air tank down to the regulator. I get roughly about 35 to 40 shots of air out of this Air Venturi Avenger 25 cal. But for squirrel hunting, it's the best caliber and the best setup is right there. And I actually did a review on the whole entire rifle, went in the specs on it, whole 9. Y'all get on the channel, check it out. But other than that, it is currently 3 o'clock almost. So we got about 2.5 hours of daylight left. I'm gonna jump up over this bank side right here and get set up on this top. Hopefully we can nail one. Y'all stay tuned. She'll be in for another really exciting hunt. Alright y'all, I never did get any squirrels in the range once I made the second move here. I did see some across from me, and they're still over there. I can hear them on the hillside about to go up into their dens. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and call it. There's 2 minutes left of shooting light. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack everything up, and I'll be right back at it hopefully tomorrow. The weather looks good so far. Here lately it's been saying, oh, it's going to be sunny today, and then it just starts raining. Typical Ohio weather. But so far, I am going to be out here tomorrow. But with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of y'all out there for following these episodes and whatnot. If y'all could hit that thumbs up button, also hit the subscribe button. Also want to say thanks to everyone for 2,000 subscribers. I didn't think I was going to get it until the end of January, but turns out we ended up getting it a lot faster than what I thought, so I appreciate it. Next will be 3,000, and just slowly work my way up. So if y'all could hit that subscribe button, and with that all being said, I'll catch you all on the next episode. This has been your host Trey with Huntfishohio Outdoors, and until next time, happy 2026, happy hunting. I'll see you on the next one.